Hey, what's up guys, it's Rebellion here, and I'm back with another spawn tube tutorial for Black Ops Cold War. So in this video, I'll be going over the other Season 4 map that we got, that being Collateral, and I've mentioned this before, but I definitely feel like this map has the potential to be one of the best tubing maps in this game, alongside maps like Raid, Nuketown, Yamantau, basically a map that is just absolutely great for team tubing. So if you don't already like this map for any reason, hopefully the spots that I'm about to show you will maybe change your mind. So with that said, let's go and jump right in. So for this map, I'm going to be showing you 6 spots in total. So that'll be 3 for the attacking side, which will cover 3 of the main defending routes, and I'll be showing you 3 on the opposite side for the defenders, which will cover 3 of the main attacking routes. So to start off on the attacking side, this first spot will be how to tube the defenders that run straight forward at the start, headed towards the B building. So this is how you line up your shot for this spot. Basically, you're going to use the right edge of this building right here in front of us to determine the general direction of which the tube will travel. And then for the height of the tube, it's going to be right around this tree branch that's right above it. So again, the direction of which the tube will travel is going to be right around here, the right edge of this building, and the height of the tube will be right around here where this tree branch is. So it'll look something like this. For the second attacking spot, this will be how to tube the defenders that run a little more towards the right at the start of the round and are headed towards the right side of the B building. So for this spot, what you're going to do is run up to the side of this rock wall right here. You're going to look up, and you're going to notice that there is this one little thin tree branch that's just kind of swaying back and forth. You're going to aim just slightly above that branch, right about here, and then shoot. And for attacking spot number 3, this will be how to tube the defenders that run over to the left at the start of the round and are headed towards the A-bomb site. So for this spot, what you're going to do is you're going to run up behind the middle part of this wall right here. I'm going to look up towards this giant tree in front of you, and this little thin branch that's just above the larger branch in front of it right here, you're going to aim just slightly above this branch. So right about here where my red dot is, this is where you want to line up your shot. Like this, and then shoot. Now switching over to the defending side, I'm going to start off by showing you how to tube the attackers that run to the left at the start of the round and are headed either to the far left or the center of the map. So the way that I'll be explaining how this spot works is very similar to how I made the Crossroads tutorial, where on the attacking side, there is a specific lineup for each member on the team to remember in order for the tube to land in the right spot. So that's kind of the same deal here, and I'll be going over how to get the tube to land from spawn to spawn from each person's perspective. So what you're seeing right now is a screenshot of what each spawn point looks like for each member of the defending team. And one easy way to remember how to line up your shot is basically if you're anyone that's on the right half of the team, meaning if you're any of these 3 guys right here, then you'll be lining up your shot just below the tree branch. And if you're anyone on the left half of the team, which is any of these 3 guys right here, then you'll be lining up your shot just above the tree branch. And I'll go over what all this looks like as I go through each person's perspective, but we're going to start off with the guy that's on the far right of the team. So from this guy's perspective right here, I'm going to start off by looking at the space in between the 2 large trees all the way in the back right here. So this large space, basically this is going to be the direction of the tube in which it will be traveling to in order for this tube to land in the right spot. So this space right here. And then for the height of the tube, you're going to line up your thumper right below this tree branch, like so. So right about here. So again, this space in between both of these trees in the background will determine the direction of the tube. And then for the height, it's going to be just below this tree branch all the way up here. So right about here is where you want to line yourself up. And timer hits 0, you're going to shoot right away. So as we go in order here, now I'll be looking at the guy that's just one over to the left, the person that spawned closest to the tree. So I'll say right now, if you are the guy that spawned right here, you are basically in the worst spot under the other 5 that you could be spawned in, but don't worry, there's still a way for you to get your tube to land from spawn to spawn, no problem. It's just going to require an extra step. So the way that it works from this spot on the team is you're going to look towards the space in between both trees again, and even though you can't really see the left tree, you can kind of tell that the space is right about here. So again, this will determine the general direction of which the tube will travel in. Now for the height, we're going to be using the sunlight that's being casted right onto the tree right here, and the line that splits the light and the shadow of this tree, so this line right here, you're going to line up your shot just below that line. Right about here. Okay, and then once you have this lined up, the timer hits 0, you're going to walk immediately to your right, and the moment you have an opening to shoot your tube is when you shoot. So it should look like this. Alright, so moving right along here, now we're going to be looking at this from the perspective of the guy that spawned right here, which is in the middle right of the team. So again, you are still on the right side of the team if you are standing here, so you're going to be lining up your shot just below the tree branch. So again, the general direction of the tube is the space in between both of the large trees in the background, right here, and the height of the tube is going to be right about here, just below the tree branch. Like this, the countdown hits 0, you're going to shoot right away.
You performed as expected, Collateral. Prepare to redeploy.
Alright, now we're going to be looking at the left side of the team, starting with the guy right here that spawned in the middle left. So from here, it's going to be the same idea. We're going to be looking at the space in between the 2 trees in the background, so right about here. And then for the height, it's going to be just above the tree branch. So again, if you're on the left half of the team, you're going to be aiming above the tree branch, particularly this branch right here. So again, the space in between both of the trees in the background, and the height just above this tree branch, right about here. All right, countdown hits 0, you're going to shoot right away.
Prepare to redeploy.
Alright, for the second to last POV, we're going to be moving one over to the left and looking at it from the perspective of this guy right here. So from here, again, we're going to be looking at the space in between the 2 trees in the background. So right about here, and then for the height, it's going to be just above this part of the tree branch. So right about here is where you want to line up your shot. Like so, the timer hits 0, you're going to shoot right away.
Show those imperialists this was no fluke.
And for the final POV, we're going to be looking at the perspective of the guy that spawned to the very far left of the team. So once again, we want to look in the space in between both of the large trees in the background, but as you can see, it's actually a little harder to see the space from where I'm standing. So basically you want to aim right about here where this part of the wall is. This is basically where the space is. Okay, and then for the height of the tube, again, it's going to be just above the tree branch, so right about here is where you want to line your shot up. Timer hits 0, you're going to shoot right away.
Show those imperialists this was no fluke.
Now moving on to the second defending spot, this will be headed to the attackers that usually run straight forward through this small spawn room, jump out the window, and proceed to run straight forward, headed towards the center of the map. So this spot works pretty well as a secondary spot, so after shooting your first tube with the primary spot that I just showed you, as you're reloading, you're going to stand on the side of this tree, and right above where these weeds are, you're going to look at this part of the wall that has a chip in it. So this part of the wall right here, you're going to aim just above that. So right about here is where you want to line your shot up and then shoot.
Show those Imperialists this was no fluke.
And for the third and final defending spot, this will be headed to the attackers that run to the right at the start of the round and are headed towards the A-bomb site. So this spot also works pretty well as a secondary spot, so after shooting your first tube with the primary spot, as you are reloading, you're going to lean up against the side of this rock wall. You're going to crouch. The crouching is important, so keep that in mind. You're going to look up towards this little space in between all of the leaves in this tree. Right here is where you want to line your shot up. Like so, and then shoot.
Show those Imperialists this was no fluke.
I'm going to keep the outro short here, but of course I want to thank everyone that made it to the end of this video. If you liked what you saw and found this tutorial helpful in any way, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to the channel as well for more spawn tubing content in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And as always, if you're not following me on any of my other social medias, the links to all of those will be in the description below. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than just thank you again so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out.
I'm coming for the throne.